Hello everyone. So we are back with another lesson, and in this class we will be discussing about the writing section. Right. In our previous class, we have discussed about the reading section, where we have discussed about the word meaning. Right. We have discussed about the vocabulary enrichment. Right. Where we have studied about the heteronyms. Then we have also studied about the one word substitution. Right. At the same time, we have also studied about the phonemes. Right, which is about the pronunciation of English letters, right? And in this lesson, we will be covering the writing section. And in this writing section, we will be discussing about the notice first, right? So we begin from the very basic thing, and that is what is notice, right? Followed by why do we need it, right? And it is very easy, right? The answer to the question, what is notice, is very easy, right? So the answer to this question, what is notice, is that it is the handwritten, right? It can be handwritten, it can be typed as well, and it can be printed piece of news, right? And what the notice do is it display the information, it gives us information, it provides the information, right? It can either be displayed, it can either be shown, right, on the notice board, or it can be either displayed through the newspaper, right? So in sum, what we can say is notice is about spreading of information, giving information, providing the information either on notice board or through the newspaper, or it can either be written by hand, it can either be typed, it can either be in a printed piece, right? In all sum, what we need is we need the information, right? We need the information, we need the news, right? And then why do we need it, right? Why do we need the notice, right? And the first point is to provide the information. We have already discussed what notice is about, right? We have already discussed that notice is we have already discussed that notice is all about information and news, right? So what we need is information. So that's why we need notice, because we need information, right? And another one is to convey the message to mass, and followed by time saving and easy communication. See, why do we need the notice? We need the notice because we need to convey the message, right? And see, we do not need to go to each person to give the particular news, right? To spread the information. What we can do is we can give the information, we can provide, we can show the information, we can display the information to the mass, right? So that we can save the time and we can have easy communication as well. And how can we spread those messages? How can we spread the news to the mass, right? To save the time, to have the easy communication. We can only do it through the notice, right? We can only do it through the notice board. We can only do it through the spreading of information through the newspaper, right? So that is called notice, which is why we need the notice, right? In all sum, we can say that we need notice because we need to spread the information to the mass, right? To save the time and to have the easy communication, right? Followed by the another slide which discuss on the notice in detail, right? It is handwritten, it can either be typed, it can be printed piece, right? And that printed piece, that written one, the typed one, provide us information, gives us news, right? And it can either be displayed on notice board or it can either be spread through newspaper, right? And the next point is about notice can be drafted for a various purpose, right? We can draft the notice for lost and found. We can draft the notice to spread information regarding the invitation, right? Invitation for the event, invitation for the event, invitation for the function, right? We can also make a notice, we can also spread the information, right? To make the announcement regarding the event function that you are going to hold, right? We can also spread the information, we can also pass the message to the mass about the meeting that you are thinking of conducting, right? We can also appeal to the mass regarding the social cause through the notice, right? So in sum, we can say that we can provide the information regarding anything. It can either be invitation, it can either be about announcement of event function, it can be about lost and found, it can be about appealing for the social causes, right? And the things that we need to remember when we make the notice, right? When we display the notice, is that the first one is language and the content should be clear, right? अब हमने क्या करना होता है जब हम notice draft करते हैं, right? When we make a notice, when we drop the notice about anything, right? Notice किसी की बारे में हो सकता है, चाहे invitation हो, चाहे function हो, चाहे social cause के लिए appeal करना हो, चाहे lost and found के लिए लिखना हो. The most important thing is the language and the content, right? इस पे मेन कंटेंट क्या है, मेन पॉइंट आप क्या कहना चाहते हो, आप किसके बारे में, अगर आप मीटिंग के बारे में कहना चाहते हो तो कौन सी मीटिंग, कहाँ होना है, किसके लिए होना है मीटिंग, वो कंटेन होता है, राइट? एंड द लैंग्वेज, वो जो लैंग्वेज एंड कंटेन है नोटिस की, वो क्लियर होनी चाहिए, right? So that whosoever you are calling, whosoever you are conveying the message, उसको मैसेज मिलनी चाहिए, अच्छे से क्लियरली मिलनी चाहिए, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए बीच में, which is why language and content should be clear when we drop the notice, right? And the second point and the third point is no unnecessary detail should be included and points should not be missed. Here we are talking about the needed point, the necessary point that we need to put in the notice should not be missed. At the same time, the unnecessary detail should not be included, right? See, if we were thinking of dropping a notice about the event that we are going to hold next week, what we need is vacation, right? We need to focus on the audience, right? Then we need the time, we need the venue. Those are the necessary details, right? So we should not miss those necessary details while we drop the notice regarding the upcoming event, right? On the other hand, the unnecessary details should not be included, which means we do not need to include how many person you can bring to the event, right? And what type of clothes you are supposed to wear to the event, right? So those are the unnecessary details. Should not be included. And another important point that we need to remember is DTV, right?